Yes, this is an example of a case study that we actually do into class. So their prep is that they actually have a very brief scenario about the case, and then they have to basically do the Lasseter critical thinking model. So they have to say what they noticed, and then what they need to know, and then they need to do some research on what they found out, and then they do get to evaluation. But what we really focus on for prepping for the class is that they put together, and then they have a chapter to read. They have an article that's based on adolescence, because it's an adolescent case, and then they have to case analysis, which is just a table format before they come into class. So from the instructor's side, that gives us some assurance that there's actually been, the prep actually has been done. And then they come into class, and it varies. In today's class, we actually got to have a sort of a role play with someone playing the character. Sometimes we have students role play within small groups. It just sort of varies. But for this one, the prep hopefully sets the stage for when we're in class. And then in class, I have a structure about basically reviewing what they come in with, and reviewing what they know, and then having them prioritize what is missing. And so trying to get them to do the, noticing patterns and the critical thinking of it. And then having, I think another goal of mine is that they see therapeutic communication as a tool. And so just like I use a blood pressure cuff to take blood pressure, and I figure out something from that information, the same thing with therapeutic communication. So I have them prioritize the communication, and then have sort of what are they going to have at the end. In this case, is this person safe, and what's the level of depression? So she, through that structuring of that this is the tool, is you listening in your presence. I mean, that is the tool. And so that's my hope, is that that's the message that comes across. And then all the structure leads up to them actually using it in class. So the whole flipped classroom idea of prepping them beforehand and then having them actually apply it in the classroom. So for me, the applying on this one was being able to do an appropriate psychosocial assessment, looking for depression, and then to be able to assess for safety.
And I noticed that you do have some PowerPoints before class. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So again, and the idea of there's content, and there's content to support, but when you try and do all that in the classroom, then there's no time to apply it. So, and not in every class, but I'm more moving towards having a narrated PowerPoint. So it's me talking through the slides, circling, pointing, using pictures, and trying to keep them short and brief, and basically covering what they also are reading in their textbook, but highlighting what is going to be important when we go to class, and then referring them to, when I see you in class, we'll be doing this. So really trying to connect it. So yes, they are PowerPoints, they're narrated, and they really do give the sort of basic highlight background information.